It's story time! Causeway Critters, Episode 6. The Storm. Written and illustrated by me. Ooh, ooh, a storm's beginning to brew. Ooh, it's coming from the sea. Ooh, hey, it will move into the bay. Ooh, ho, find somewhere to go. Benjamin was a blackbird. He chirped and sang all day. He would go and build his nest when the sky turns gray. Ooh, ooh, a storm's beginning to brew. Ooh, it's coming from the sea. Ooh, hey, it will move into the bay. Ooh, ho, find somewhere to go. Julian was a blackbird. He chased bees from dawn till dusk. He would go and build his nest when the winds began to gust. Ooh, ooh, a storm's beginning to brew. Ooh, it's coming from the sea. Ooh, hey, it will move into the bay. Ooh, ho, find somewhere to go. Lucien was a blackbird. She began to build her nest. A storm was brewing in the sea. There was no time to rest. Ooh, the storm is here, it's true. Ooh, he is coming from the sea. Ooh, hey, it has moved into the bay. Ooh, ho, find somewhere to go. Benjamin stopped his singing. He saw the sky turn gray. He thought he'd better build his nest before he blows away. Ooh, the storm is here, it's true. Ooh, it has come in from the sea. Ooh, hey, it has moved into the bay. Ooh, oh, find somewhere to go. Julian stopped chasing bees. It seemed they all went home. So he left to build his nest. The wind was getting strong. Ooh, the storm is here, it's true. Ooh, it has come in from the sea. Ooh, hey, it has moved into the bay. Ooh, oh, find somewhere to go. Lucien was finished. Her nest was now complete. She climbed inside and hunkered down and stuffed the cracks with peat. The rain poured down. The water got rough. Benjamin's nest of sticks was not enough. The clouds moved in. The sky turned dark. Julian's nest just blew apart. Dark clouds, strong winds, hard rain and rough seas. Birds lost their feathers. Trees lost their leaves. Lucien was safe. She kept all her feathers. She built a fine nest that held strong in bad weather. A lesson was learned at the end of that day. Listen to wise owls. and do work before play. From that day forward, the blackbirds still played. They chirped and they sang, and they chased bees all day. But they first built a nest, sturdy and tight, that storms could not wreck, no matter their might. The end.
Hey, what's going on over here? Why are you so happy?
I just got my first library card.
Big deal. A library is just an old building filled with old books.
Where have you been? Under a rock? Libraries connect people with information and each other. They preserve and share our history, and they provide the tools to build a better future.
Oh yeah? Like what?
Books! All the books you wish to read. Reading can take you anywhere, from Hawaii to Hogwarts.
I do like to read. What else?
Snacks and his family like to borrow family movies. And Fred likes yoga videos.
I love movies. What else? What else? Is there more?
I'm glad you asked. There is more. If you don't have a computer at home, you can use a public computer at the library. Or you can bring your own device to access the free Wi-Fi. The library also offers e- and audio books. Some libraries even have a selection of music. Scarlett went to the library to study her family history. She found out she's a direct descendant of a king snake. She's royalty.
I'd like to visit the library, but it would take me days to get there.
Well, once you get a library card, you can access online resources, movies, music, books, educational courses, practice tests. The list goes on.
How much does it cost?
The card is free. However, there's a small replacement fee if you lose it.
How can we get a library card?
Easy. Just call your local library and say, I want my new card, please.
The title of our story is A Windy Day on the Back Bay. Ruby missed her friend Kirby. She hadn't seen him in weeks. High winds made the water too rough to swim. Ruby decided to send a message to Kirby. She swam to the edge of the deep water and asked Dewey if he would take the letter across the bay to Kirby. "Absolutely," he replied. "Just toss it here." Ruby tossed up the letter, and Dewey leapt into the air. All of a sudden, a great wind blew. The wind carried the letter away. "Catch that letter!" "I've got it," said Pop. "No, I'll get it," said Petey. Me, said Pico. "Let me," said Pooh. "I'll catch it." And she did. At that very moment, a great wind blew. The wind carried the letter over the marsh by the alligator hole. There by his hole sat Gum. That's short for Gumbo. He was the oldest gator around, so old that he had no teeth. He opened his massive jaws, and he clamped down on the letter. At that very moment, a great wind blew. The wind swiped the letter from his toothless gums. The snakes decided that they would climb a tree to make a lasso and pull it down. They slithered up the tree. At that very moment, a great wind blew. "Snatch it! Snatch it! Snatch it!" cried the snakes. Plato heard their cries, and he swooped in. "Whoop, whoop! I'll catch it with my bill. Whoop, whoop!" At that very moment, a great wind blew. Plato twirled one way, the letter twirled the other way. Plato's friend Fred soared in for the save, but the wind was strong and steady. It sent Fred into a whirlwind. "I give up," said Fred. He was exhausted. "Maybe Spike can do it." "Yo, Spike, catch that letter." "I can't reach." "Hey, Bongo, climb up." "Pip, you get on top." "Reach high." But the letter was still too high. It went right over their heads. At that very moment, a great wind blew. The letter flew towards the fox den. Frida and Diego saw the letter coming. As the letter drifted between them, both dove for it, bumped their heads, and fell to the ground. Tattoo heard all the commotion. He couldn't possibly catch the letter, so instead he whistled for Sonny and Sue. They were the fastest blackbirds around. If Sonny and Sue couldn't catch that letter, no one could. Sonny swooped in, Sue swooped out, and at that very moment, a great wind blew, and the letter swooped away. Kirby was resting in the sand, as crabs often do. When he looked up, he saw something floating in the air above him. He stretched out his claw, and he pinched it from the air. It was a letter, and it had his name on it. It was from his friend Ruby. He unrolled the letter, and it read, "I miss you." Kirby missed Ruby too. At that very moment, the wind calmed. The end. Every morning of every day, a crane named Fred flies to the bay. He stands there tall, he stands there proud, waiting for the fishing crowd. Fred loves fishing. He can't tell time, but needs no clock. The fish start jumping when the bait boat docks. The air is filled with a fishy smell. The day has started, he can tell. Fred loves fishing. As the fishers flock to cast their lines, the seagulls squawk like they've lost their minds. The walkers walk, the riders roll. People are fishing, young and old. Fred loves fishing. He keeps his eye on everyone and waits till lunchtime has begun. Each day Fred has the same old plan: to inspect each cooler, grill, and can. Fred loves fishing. For the baggies full of juicy grapes, the bread crusts falling off the plates, catfish, crawfish, shrimp galore, cookies, pizza, apple cores, bologna, macaroni, fried chicken legs, potato chips, French onion dip, hard-boiled eggs. Fred doesn't need a market or a grocery store. One day of fishing guarantees all of this and more. Fred loves fishing.